Hello and welcome to lesson 6 for Math 13x. So we're going to do some different types of statistical graphs. The first one is called a dot plot. And basically you just look at the number. This is a number line going from 39 up to 58. And then you just put a dot wherever there's a number. So 48, I'm going to cross it off and just put a dot above 48. And then 43, put a dot. And 46, a dot. A 51, a 52, a 45, a 57. And if there's any repeats, like if the 48 shows up again, I'll just put another dot and then another dot and another dot for any repeats. So then there's a 44 and a 50. And here's our first repeat, 48. 47 actually shows up twice in a row. 44, 42, 41, 42, 41, 44 again, 45, 47 is now tied for the lead. Oops, I put that dot in the wrong place. 47 is tied for the lead. And there's no more 48, so pretend this is erased right there. So this is supposed to just have two dots. And then a 40, a 43, a 41, a 47, 45, a 42, and a 49. So with this dot plot, you can see that 47 is the winner with 4 dots. You can also see that most of the data is in here. This one, which is much bigger than everybody else, when it does that, that's called an outlier. So it lies outside the range of all the other scores. That's called an outlier. And it could be something that's really big, or it could be something that's really small. But if it's outside the range of everybody else, that's called an outlier. Now create a stem and leaf plot from this data right here. So a stem and a leaf plot basically says, take these numbers. So there's the 30s, although there was nobody in the 30s. Then there's the 40s. Then there's the 50s. So you would basically say, this is called the stem, which if you look at the number 49, then 4 would be its stem, and the 9 would be the leaf. So you're basically just taking a number like 49 and then just writing it like that, separating it. And this one only has numbers in the 40s and 50s, so I'm actually only going to have 2 rows. The 40s and the 50s. And now you basically just go through and write the numbers. So there is a 40 and there's one of those. So you write down a 40. So that's 40. And then there's 2 of them that were 41. So you would write 41 and another 41. And then there are 2 42s. There are 2 43s. There are 3 44s. There's 3 45s. There's 1 46. 4 47s. There's 2 48s, because remember I erased that one. And then there is a 49. And then for the 50s, there's a 50, a 51, and a 52. And so that is a stem and leaf plot. So here's another example of a stem and leaf plot. So these are grades on an exam. So these are the people that got in the 90s. These are the people that got in the 80s, the 70%, the 60%, and the 50%. But before making the histogram, what percent of the class got a C or better? So that's a 70 or better. So that's basically, these are the A's, these are the B's, and these are the C's. So how many people got A's? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 got A's. For the 80s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And for the 70s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So don't forget, when it's on this screen, you can just put second quit to get back to the home screen. So a 13 plus a 14 plus a 12. So that equals 39 people. So it's going to be 39 divided by the total amount of people. So these people, there's 4 of them, 5, 6. So there's 6 more people. And that equals 45. So there's 45 people in the class. And 39 people got a C or better. And then what percent is that? So 39 divided by 45, that is the decimal point 867. And then for the percent, just move the decimal over by 2, and that is 86.7%. All right, now we're going to make a histogram. And basically, I'm just going to take this information and make a bar graph out of it. So this is going to be let me get it on the screen. This is going to be the number line, and the very lowest score was in the 50s. So I'm going to say, let's say here's the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. There's nobody that got 40s, but just bear with me for a moment. So for the people that got the 50s, there was 2 of them. So basically, this is telling me that on the y-axis, I'm going to have to go up to 14. So if I go by 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So down here are the grades. And over here are the frequencies, or how many people. All right. So for the people in the 50s, there was only 2 of them. So I need to make a bar for the 50s that goes up to 2. And I'm going to make the bar so the number 50 is right in the middle of it. There, that bar goes up to 50. And then for the 60s, there's 4 people. So then I need the bar to go up to 4 people. So that's going to be this height. And again, make the bar so that the 60 is in the middle, and there should not be any gaps between the bars. They should be touching like that. And for the 70s, it goes up to 12. So now have the bar go up to 12. There's the 70s. And for the 80s, that's the biggest. It goes up to 14. And then finally, for the 90s, it goes up to 13. All right, that is our first histogram. So there's a bar graph representing the different grades. And the shape of this is called skewed. So when it ramps up sort of slowly and then just sort of drops off, that's a skewed distribution.